So, with the Doctor seemingly having the keys back to the TARDIS, he's still taking Joe on a tour of time and space, this time in the distant future on Earth, and Frontier of Space, which is an interesting plot in that it's very similar to a lot of plots of Star Trek, where you have alien governments and ambassadors and the threat of war and dealings and all that sort of thing, and treachery that could be the ultimate enemy, if you will, between two forces who really don't need to go to war at all. Boy, it sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, of course, it's always reflective of the human experience here on our little planet Earth. But here, the Doctor encounters this as well, where you have the humans in the future. They have their own space empire, and then there's another one of aliens called the Draconians, and are often referred to with apparent expletive as dragons. So, once again, the Doctor accidentally stumbles into this, or does he? Well, the TARDIS arrives, I guess, in the cargo hold, not of an old ship, but a spaceship, where the spaceship is in the midst of going into hyperspace, and they seemingly seem like they're going to collide with the TARDIS, but it arrives on this ship, and then the ship comes under attack from what appears to be a warship from the Draconians. Well, it's all a sinister plot. There's some sort of bizarre sound that is able to hypnotize the humans into seeing Draconians when they're actually the Ogrons, who were briefly spotted in the previous episode, Carnival of Monsters, and so now you see the payoff, which actually kind of gives away who the real villain behind all this is. Of course, it seems to lead you to that the real villain behind all this is none other than the Master. Even in this distant future time point, they run into him again, and Joe and the Doctor, of course, are mistaken for being saboteurs or spies or what have you. They get locked up. The Draconian ambassador wants to see him. He breaks the Doctor out. It's all a big mess. And the Doctor's taken to the moon. I mean, they go all over the place. It's really, this is one of the better episodes, and especially their utilization of sets and locations and whatnot. You know, there's a lot of these different properties that even today, like a lot of people will go to China and stuff, and some of these weird architectural things and say, oh, look, it's the city of the future. Now, if you live next door to it, it kind of, it breaks the illusion. It's, hey, that's just that parking garage next door. but there's still some sites here that works. It just works and has a look to it that fits with the, yeah, this is some futuristic city they're in. So, and even though the spaceships and stuff, I said, well, it's clearly a toy, but and they didn't quite have the photography down pat, the fancy cameras that can make it appear like it's an actual large object in space or whatnot. It works for what it is, and you get enough of it, and it's fine. And so you have quite a bit of adventures in space, a spacewalk by the Doctor, and he almost gets abandoned by the ship, on and on and on, all this stuff, and confrontations with the Master. And the Master is the guy manipulating the war. He's in charge of these Ogrons, but he's not the real boss. We will find out at the end, which previous show already gave it away. But somebody looks to benefit from a war between the Earth and the Draconians. And the Doctor, he understands this. He understands they're being manipulated by this hypnotic sonic, device or what have you that the Master uses to convince them that, oh, they're being attacked by the other side and all this. And, of course, all the background of people just, the paranoia of one another, looking, there's going to be war, we better get ready. It's just, come on, let's go for it. And hit them now before they can, counter us or whatever, and that kind of thing. It's all readily there. And even though the President of Earth would rather just relax in her, in her lounge and get massages and stuff. But yeah, who can blame her, And so, but I think it's well put together. It looks good. And of course the Master is always great, even though he's in his George Jetson outfit and this, but it's the future, you know. And this is one of those things about the different outfits for the Doctor. I always wondered if the Doctor regenerated in a future state and grabbed some coat that, you know, just is really weird, but not to the point of Colin Baker, of course, but that it would be this space age, like something like that. But it just never happened. Anyway, so, and of course, oh, who's the real puppet master? It's not the Master, it's the Daleks, of course. And this immediately leads you in to what would be the next story. And so at the end, the whole ordeal, the Doctor realizes is probably far more for just him to handle. And it ends kind of on a cliffhanger where he makes an emergency call to the Time Lords. And so the payoff would have to be in the next adventure. Yeah. So, yeah, this was a good one. And I think a lot of it's kind of tightly done in a clever way, and a utilization of sets and whatnot. Not too much, but enough to give you the suggestion so you can stay within the fantasy of the space adventure and all that. And of course, Jo Grant, I don't know what it is, but she's looking particularly beautiful here. and of course, John Pertwee is at his best in here. But there's another thing that I thought was kind of interesting is when the Doctor is taken to the moon prison. The set does kind of remind me of the moon base scene from Patrick Troughton's, and I kind of wondered if maybe it was some of the same parts of what have you of that. And it's like the outer window that shows you, oh yeah, you're on the moon and all that. So I don't know, maybe not, but I would have thought that perhaps a lot of stuff does get reused, and perhaps it is. I don't know. Maybe somebody already knows this and can comment below. Yeah. So there you go. Frontier in Space. Do check it out. It is a good one. Thank you for watching and listening. Say, why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. Yes, that's right, you. And of course, you can check out my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com, and you can also view my videos on that other platform. Yes, BitChute. You can subscribe to the Mr Nailsin channel at BitChute.com.